Think popping the question is tough? Get ready to have your mind blown by the 10 most shocking ancient marriage rituals. From ghost matchmakers to marrying taxidermized corpses, stay tuned for 10 of the wildest wedding traditions you won't believe existed. 1. Corpse brides. In many Asian cultures, particularly in China, Japan, and Taiwan, there's a strong belief in the importance of marriage, not only in life, but also in the afterlife. Dying without a spouse is considered a fate worse than death itself. Ghost marriage, also known as corpse weddings, is a practice where deceased individuals are married off to ensure their happiness in the afterlife. This involves digging up and removing the corpse of a dead woman and burying her again with her deceased groom. Due to men outnumbering women in the Chinese population, there's been a shortage of corpse brides in recent years. Families sometimes resorted to the black market to find a suitable match for their deceased sons. A woman's corpse can bring in the equivalent of up to $7,500 US, if not more. Who knew eternal bliss came with such a price tag? 2. Cock-a-doodle-I-do. In certain traditional customs surrounding ghost marriages, particularly in cases where a woman's fiancé dies before the wedding, a rooster may symbolically take the place of the groom. After the marriage ceremony, the woman typically moves in with her deceased husband's family, remains celibate, and the rooster acts as her companion, escorting her to family gatherings and other events. This arrangement serves to maintain the woman's social standing within the family and ensures continuity in familial relationships. When life hands you a rooster instead of a groom, just wing it. 3. Taxidermy for tax breaks. In 18th century Europe, a peculiar trend emerged where wealthy individuals would have their deceased loved ones taxidermized and then married to ensure continued access to their wealth and property. Living relatives would stand in for the taxidermized deceased brides or grooms, holding their hands while reciting vows over the body. This way, the state could not claim their assets through taxes or inheritance laws that would have applied if the deceased remained unmarried. 4. Animal weddings. In some ancient cultures, such as certain tribes in Africa, there were ceremonies where humans were married to animals. This was often done to bring good fortune or to appease nature spirits. The bride or groom would be symbolically wed to a chosen animal, sometimes even engaging in intimate acts as part of the ritual. Talk about a happy forever after. 5. Kidnap and kill. In certain ancient tribes, marriage by capture was not just about abducting a bride. It involved a brutal initiation ritual where the groom-to-be had to prove his worthiness by hunting down and killing an enemy tribe member. The bride would then be presented to him as a prize for his violent act. I guess love really does conquer all, or at least it used to come with a trophy. 6. Test trial marriages. The deadly ultimatum. In medieval Japan, trial marriages had a morbid twist. If a wife failed to please her husband during the trial period, he had the right to kill her without legal consequence. This put immense pressure on women to fulfill every expectation of their husbands. Looks like medieval Japan took "till death do us part" quite literally. 7. Legal marriages to objects. In medieval Scandinavia, warriors would occasionally perform a disturbing ritual by marrying their swords, viewing them as sources of strength and protection in battle. Similarly, in other ancient cultures, individuals formed unsettling attachments to inanimate objects such as trees, rocks, or idols, displaying a deep and disturbing intimate relation with the material world. What a way to say you're the object of my desire. 8. Starving for love. Among the Aztecs, couples preparing for marriage would engage in extreme fasting rituals, sometimes lasting for weeks. This was not just about purification. It was also believed that sacrificing their own physical well-being would please the gods and ensure a fruitful marriage. Looks like the Aztecs were so love-starved, they took the term "hungry for affection" to a whole new level. 9. Bedding ceremonies. In medieval Europe, particularly dark versions of bedding ceremonies involved guests actively participating in the consummation of the marriage. The newlyweds would be placed in bed while guests watched and sometimes even physically assisted in the act, ensuring it was properly carried out for the sake of fertility and blessing. I guess in medieval Europe, wedding guests doubled as scorekeepers in the game of love. 10. In medieval Europe, particularly in England and Scotland, a bizarre wedding tradition called blackening the bride, or charivari, took place. This involved the bride and groom enduring humiliating and messy rituals before their wedding day. They would be bombarded with rotten eggs, spoiled food, and forced to take mandatory mud baths by their friends and family. The purpose was to ward off evil spirits, bring good luck, and test the couple's ability to face hardship together. Despite its disturbing nature by today's standards, it was seen as a necessary rite of passage to ensure a happy and prosperous marriage. Those pre-wedding traditions were exceptionally messy. Those ancient rituals make giving up your boys' night out and emptying your wallet for that engagement ring seem like a walk in the park.